to dust. That is a manipulator move, and it doesn't change the fact that he's not necessarily a nice person.
That's women wanting to take the easy way out. Men just are homeless. If a man has no opportunity, he's just homeless. Or women, they get to use that if they want to, and then they take the easy way out, and then like they're not being manipulated if they make a choice. Go ahead.
I mean, you're saying the easy route. Like, I'm not going to sit here and like defend all the points, but it's one thing to.
It's okay. Just record it. Yeah, that's all. We keep going.
It's one thing to say the easy route, but I think there's an element of survival instinct that goes in there, and it's one thing. I think what she's speaking about is not just like, oh, I want to be a millionaire tomorrow. I'll do that. It's more of like and correct me if I'm wrong. It's more of like if I don't do this, I'll be homeless. And you're saying men will go and be homeless, and that's fair.
Or they'll get a job.
Which is fair. But I'm assuming what she's speaking about is like, as opposed to being homeless, this is an option I have that I won't. So why?
Yeah, so you get an
homeless?
opportunity.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying, like, how are they being manipulated if you're being given an opportunity? Like, because I kind of think of, from my point of view, like I run YouTube channels. And so I know how much work goes behind like making money off of a YouTube channel on the back end. So he's just doing that with OnlyFans work. And so he knows the back end, he knows what to say, he knows how to make money, he knows the business. And if the girl wants to take the opportunity, she can, or she can, like that. I kind of do something similar where it's like, if you want to go build it on your own, good luck.
But compare that to kind of the music industry, and a lot of how artists came in, like, you know, Usher and all those were like 17, 16 when they started. Then eventually they're 18, they sign this contract. And from my perspective, my expert opinion, I guess, a lot of these contracts aren't in their favor, and they don't know that. And so in those situations, it's one thing to say, okay, like, we didn't manipulate them, they signed this contract. But there is a predatory, and I don't want to use, there's like an element of predatory nature that goes into that. Like, here's a contract, we drafted it, it's in our favor, you'll write one song, sing it, and become famous, but we own all your masters, I think it's kind of in that same vein. Well,
I think it's just more like, then do it on your own.
I mean,
like,
yeah,
it's just someone has leverage. In every deal, someone has leverage. There's a million people that want to be famous. There's only a couple music companies. So if you have leverage, you get a better deal.
So now the question is, yes, it's a leverage thing. The people who take advantage of that leverage to like an extreme point, are they not bad people? And the people who have less leverage and who have less leverage and are taken advantage of, are they like, they're not?
Well, I think it's you take what you're worth. So if you could get a better deal elsewhere, you wouldn't take it.
That's true.
Otherwise, go somewhere else. Go start it on your own. They don't want to do that.
I was going to say, would you have the same idea if a lady suggested to do it on her own? So she's out there doing it on her own, she's tricking, finessing, whatever you call it. Is that good business or is that manipulation?
Well, I have my own opinions on all that, the whole system and that whole, but I think if she does it on her own, that's one thing. But it's another thing to, like, I can appreciate that there are people in hard situations where it's like, here is an opportunity, and you will take that opportunity more so than anyone else, like the average person. And those are quote unquote vulnerable people that'll do X, Y, Z. So I know
I just don't think they're vulnerable. I think they're lazy. Like,
I mean,
you could talk to men on the internet and take your clothes off, or you could go work at McDonald's and they said,
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example.
Go ahead.
Let's use it in a more professional setting. Let's say you went to school, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a degree, and now you have debt, and now you have to take, like, you apply for jobs. The one job that gives you an opportunity is a job that pays pretty trash, and they have some very, like, the terms aren't amazing, but it's the only job you got. You have debt, and if you don't do that, your options are to be homeless or to take this job. I think you would agree with me if you said, if someone said, like, I'm not going to take that job, I'm just going to go be homeless. You'd look at that person and be like, no, you're being lazy, take the job. Would you agree with me on that? Because in the same vein, if that person takes the job and now they're in a shitty place, a shitty deal.
I mean, I wouldn't call them lazy if they chose not to take an OnlyFans job.
Well,
if they
OnlyFans
chose, so because I think that's the comparison you're trying to make. Yeah. But I would say just don't, like, there are consequences for every decision. I wouldn't say you're being manipulated.
Yeah. But I mean, two
Like-
things can be right. You can be manipulated.
How are
and
you
it's-
being manipulated if you freely chose to take a job?
I think manipulation has a negative context, but it's not. It doesn't necessarily have to be. Like if I walk into the room and I'm wearing like a cologne, and everyone likes the cologne, and I'm like, oh, by the way, buy this cologne. That's a manipulation in a sense. It doesn't have to be like a oh,
I'd say it's advertising.
but advertising is manipulation. You're manipulating.
He's
You're-
right.
you're-
Yeah, he's
So
right.
we see it in a negative context, but it doesn't have to be. I think manipulation.
Well, I'm talking about how she was describing it. It seemed negative.
Yeah, she did.
Like, because we're kind of like changing the goalpost a little bit. Go ahead. Go ahead. Someone.
Who was speaking? Wasn't me.
Oh, sorry. I thought one of you were. Oh, was it you?
I wanted to respond to that. If you choose to go into sex work, understand that there are certain consequences that you have to deal with. But like Andrew Tate said, he likes to be in Romania because he can pay off the police, which makes you ask, why would you want to pay off the police if everything you're doing is legit? And it's like with the stories of these girls comparing it, like saying how it's so hard to leave because he either scares these girls into not leaving and uses his power and fame against these girls. What are these girls in Romania going to do?
Do you have like what clip are you talking about? Because we could pull it up.
Basically, I just like watching how some people just gather up their research and collective. There's a I can just bring it out on my
It's
phone.
fine. You can grab your phone, and then Blessing can pull it up. Or if you send it to me on Instagram, I'll put it in the doc so Blessing can use it.
Is that the one where he mentioned about it's like the grape associated one where he's like, oh, I'm not saying I'm a rapist, but I like to be in countries where I can do whatever I want. Is that
Yeah,
the one?
that's the snippet of him. But in terms of the people who've released this information about Andrew Tate, but then again, it could be false. So I'm just saying that usually, like, I mean, if you think about the statement and then the allegations, I just think there has to be some sort of connect.
Well,
but then again, I don't know.
I just think like you have to be proven guilty of something. Like I don't like being in a society where we can like you can be proven guilty without going to court.
I agree with that to a certain extent, that I think it's so much better if you can have substantial evidence behind something before you can make those accusations. I think what's very problematic about this case is that there's a lot of smoke. So you have to kind of question, is there fire behind it? If there's multiple clips coming out with multiple allegations and multiple, like, yes, we made a point about like clickbait and, certain things might be said for entertainment purposes, but when there's that much smoke, I'm a bit curious.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because so I was doing the interviews, and one of the common things that people were saying is there was that clip of that girl getting like, they said she was being abused on camera, but then she came forward and said, no, that was a sex play. That's actually one of the clips I have for us to watch.
But then I guess the same thing that we would apply to, is that true or not?
Yeah.
We could say the same thing for her.
It's true.
Was she feeling manipulated?
Yeah.
Did she have to retract it? Because just as she was saying before, when someone's a massive superpower, has a lot of money and a lot of influence behind them, people retract their statements a lot
Exactly.
when there's such things as